All right, cool, cool, cool. Let me just gonna just make another post, just letting people know that we're about to start real quick. How you guys doing? How's everybody doing? Oh shit, hold on. How's everybody doing today or tonight? Can you guys hear me? All right, cool beans, cool beans. All right, so today, I'm just pretty much going over this, shitty, my Nike collar. Fucked. What's happening with Nike? Let me see. Just bear with me. I'm just learning how to use TradingView again. Pretty sure it was over here. The ticker. NKE. Nike. Oh yeah, they went shit. All right. Well, so in this class, I just wanted to go over this simple strategy. I wouldn't say it's any different from my previous strategy. As you guys know, I'm probably well, guys probably already know that I'm a scalper. I normally trade off the 1 minute, 3 minute time frame, but I was doing a lot of back testing this weekend, over the weekend, and I was just trying to figure out something different. I kind of got a little tired of scalping, getting hit with the fake out, so trying to find different way I can trade using a higher time frame, maybe like the 3 minute, 5 minute time frame, something with a little more confirmation. And I ran into a tool that I actually used to use back in the day, but I wasn't using it properly. Started back testing it with the strategy I use for scalping, and it kind of works pretty well. So I'm just gonna show you what it is. Just gonna make one big chart here. I'm gonna remove all these indicators. So how many of you guys are familiar with like the pivot points? Let's see, where's the little chat box? Are you guys familiar with pivot points?
Nah.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so pivot points, it's like an indicator on TradingView. You can get it on Thinkorswim. So what pivot points are, once you add the indicator to your chart, it pretty much marks support and resistance levels that you can use for trading through, like, in that day. So they do change every day. These pivot point levels do change every day. They're more like intraday, I would say. I think you can use them on a higher time frame, but back testing them, I've only back tested them on the smaller time frame. So basically with this, if you're having trouble finding support and resistance levels, you can just let me make sure I'm recording this still. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, so yeah, with the pivot points, you don't really need to go around trying to find what's a good support resistance level, what's a good key level for the day. With this, you're gonna get less signals than marking charts. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, like when I'm charting, I'm going crazy, you know. I'm like marking all these lines on my chart. I'm probably like, you know, doing this right here. And I have all these levels just marked. I was trying to find a different way so I didn't have to keep doing that and deal with all these lines. So most of the time, that's how I would chart. But with this, you don't even have to do that. You can just set up a chart. Let's say we'll pull up SPY, for example. You pull up SPY, this is SPY today. What you'll do, is go to your indicators. And I like to use TradingView for this because Thinkorswim's pivot points are trash. Like the way they look visually. So you'll type in pivot points here. And it'll be pivot point standard. I'm gonna hard it. We'll start it. Alright, so you add this, and it basically gives you this right here. So I'm gonna remove the rest, just anything before the current day, so we can just focus on what the pivot points are. So when you add your pivot points like this, you're given these levels right here. You're given P, which is pretty much your main pivot, the center line. And then you have R1, R2, R3, and you can use these as support and resistance levels. So this is resistance 1, resistance 2, resistance 3. And then at the bottom you have S1, S2, S3. Support 1, support 2, support 3. So by default, you're gonna be having these settings. They're gonna be traditional. Let me see what they look like. Reset settings. I don't want to reset my settings. But I'm pretty sure it's set to traditional. So they are going to be a little different. So what I like to do is I set up the pivots, the pivot point, and I go to type. All I do is change type, and I use Fibonacci. So I don't know if a lot of you guys are familiar with the Fibonacci. Just the whole thing about it. But this pretty much finds you Fibonacci levels, which are good for trading. I prefer the Fibonacci pivots versus the traditional pivots. So let me see.
Yo, I got a quick question.
Yo, what's up?
So say for example, every time the ticker moves up or down, do these levels move as well, or do they just stay stagnant?
Oh yeah, so these levels they stay. So all right, so we'll put in the bar replay. Let's say we go back to here before the day started. So this is how the day ended. When the day's starting right here, these levels are already there. They're just there before the market opens. So this is pre-market. This red right here it's all pre-market. So these levels, when market opens at 4 a.m., these levels are going to be set already. They're going to be there all day. And this is how I played SPY this morning. So with this, you don't want to look at the 1 minute chart. You're gonna screw yourself up with the 1 minute chart. So like I was saying, you set up these pivot points. You set it to Fibonacci, and then you don't use the 1 minute to look for plays. You're gonna look at the 3 minute chart, or you're gonna look at the 5 minute chart. And so when you see, we'll just set it to a 5 minute for now. Right here, anything in this little red area is pre-market, so of course we're not able to trade that options on that. So we're gonna wait for market to open. So you see how these levels are already here, and just watch how they get respected. Okay, so this was the open right here. This is actually I took a play right here this morning for 40% on SPY. So I noticed SPY, we were pretty much like near this level, right? And this is I use the same example or criteria for my scalping levels. I'm not sure if you were here for that class or if you've seen the video on how I scalp off the 1 minute. It's pretty much the same way, except with this, I have further targets, you know? It's not like really close. Like my 1 minutes would be like really close, like maybe 20 cents each or 30 cents each. This is more like you get from 39.50 all the way to 387, you know, like you get far targets. So this is more of a day trading strategy. So in this case, what I saw this morning, I seen a bear flag set up. I seen this bear flag set up here, pre-market. As soon as market opens, and we'll pull up the 3 minute because I was watching on a 3 minute chart.
You think that'll work on the 15-minute as well?
Yeah, we can go over on the higher time frame in a minute and pull some examples. But as far as 3 minute and 5 minute, I see a lot of setups on it, a lot. So right here,
Okay.
you know, what you'll pretty much do is your entry is gonna be right here. It's like same criteria as the scalping. You know, you want to get in on a flag break plus a level break. So this 39.50, you know, it's there. As soon as we saw that break, boom, right there, enter. Look at that. I don't think this one went all the way down, but it got close. But you know, I took profit here for 40%, all the way up here. So imagine holding down here, that shit would have been like 100%. So these Fibonacci, I mean these pivot points are really good levels if you're having a hard time finding good levels to play off. These work. They're just you got to be more patient with them. They're not gonna be like sometimes they don't even hit. Sometimes they don't even set nothing up nicely. But that was one play I took on SPY today, and then we can just keep watching to see how these levels worked out. So right
Yo,
here,
I got another question.
yo, what's up?
For our trading view, is this on the premium trading view, or like can you use it on the free one as well?
You could do it on the free one. You'll be limited to indicators. So this morning I was trading off the free one. I only
Yeah.
had 3 indicators, which was the pivot points, my 9 EMA, and volume. I think pretty much if I
And
do
is that still live data or is that delayed?
this is I just turned on live data. I just bought it today, like literally an hour ago. But
Okay,
this
gotcha.
morning I was trading without live data. So all this right here, it's all fuzzy. Like all the pre-market data,
Yeah,
it's really bad when you don't pay for it, but it's only like $2 more. But you do have to have the paid version of TradingView in order to
gotcha.
have the paid data. So that kind of sucks that they don't let you buy the data with the free version.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I think
Well, you could also,
if you make like a new account, they give you
yeah,
like 50% discount, you know.
yeah.
That's what I did. I just had to throw in a VPN just now to buy this. I got the Pro Plus. They gave me 50% discount. So
Okay, say no more. That makes sense.
yeah, or else I would have had to pay full price. So I had to just
How
make
much is it?
what's up?
How much is the 50% off?
I think it gave me like a early bird special. I think I ended up paying like 200
That's for 1 month, right?
for the whole year.
Oh, for the whole year. Well,
Yeah.
that's blessed.
Yeah. For the month, if you were to get on that early bird special, it would be like $17 a month.
That's blessed.
Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely, you know, after backtesting the strategy, you know, I made a little bit of money today using those strategies. So I was like, fuck it, why not? Let me just go ahead and use that to pay my trading view.
Sure.
Yeah, so right here, we can just pretty much just watch it. We'll just see how these levels get respected. And what I like to do is find setups, and I just do the same thing as my scalps. You know, I play level to level, really from one level to the next. You know, sometimes I'm not gonna reach it, but you know, this is 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, about 18-minute hold. That's not usually what I hold, you know. I usually hold just for about 5 minutes. So I was out about here with 40%. You know, you're not gonna really try to hold it all the way to the target, but you'll see how accurate these levels are and that they do sometimes go to those levels. So let me clear this up. All right, so this morning, this was the play. We seen a bear flag set up on a pivot point. We took it for the break right there. Beautiful break. Right here is cup and handling as well. So one could say that, okay, it's making this cup and handle. I'm going to enter pretty much on the break of this handle. Not really just the handle break, but you want to see it claim that level, this level. So one could enter there, and then we could just see what happens. I guess you got stopped out. Your stop loss would have been like right there, around there. This shit probably ran up, huh? Let me see. No, not yet. No, you would have been stopped. So I guess we'll wait for the next time it reaches level, and it'll be the same thing. You're just gonna be waiting for price to get near a level. You're not gonna take anything in between. So like I said, it does give you less signals than the scalp levels that I used to use, but they are more they're safer. Less trades. So okay, that would have been the only trade today on SPY. If you look at the previous history, we'll just go back previous days. Previous days. We'll do Apple real quick. Apple had a nice one today. It didn't hit the target though, but right here you can see that right here nothing's really happening on Apple. It had the bear flag too, the bear flag dump. Right there would have been a nice solid take profit level. I didn't see this bear flag though. I guess due to the data that I was using this morning, it was pretty choppy. So on Apple, I didn't really see it, but right there, dumped hard, went to this next level, and then that would have been a take profit level, and then it bounced. I guess it came lower. So it's looking a little nasty there. That would have been a nice scalp from here to here. Pretty much, like I said, just from one level to the next level, and that's it. That's it. That's all you really want to just take it for, especially when levels are this tight. Right here, you can see that this level, this pivot point, is holding this price pretty well right here. So then you just pretty much wait for it to set some up. I think right here, I seen like a symmetrical triangle setting up. That's what I noticed, that we're setting up with this. We're setting up this symmetrical triangle, and with these patterns, they can break either side, right? They can break either upside or they can break downside. So having these two levels right there, literally just price bing bonging in between. You know, we can have a break up here for upside or a break down here for downside. So this would be your target for puts, and this would be pretty much your target for calls. And this would be your entry for calls. It would be your entry for puts. So we can see how that played out. I think I actually called that up on this morning. I played Apple on this one. It didn't go all the way to profit target. I ended up taking profit around up here-ish. Yeah, I think I use this level. I use this pre-market level to determine that that take profit level. I think it was 142.95. I called out, if I remember correctly. So this one, yeah, I wasn't gonna take it all the way up there. I seen resistance. We had resistance here pre-market. Ended up taking profit right there. That was profit target number one. Profit target number two was up here. I think we got pretty close in the future. So took profit there. I think it came back down and bounced off this level, and then try to go back up there one last time. Yeah, it tried. So you still had a good chance to, you know, if you went held through this dip and you're still holding, you know, you still could have came up right there. And then I noticed we got a little pattern change. So I caught this before it broke down. And then this one, it's a little fishy because I like to have the patterns, you know, breaking out around like pretty close to the level break. So I didn't take this one. I was just watching this one, but this one did dump pretty hard, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah. But really, this symmetrical triangle was the play that worked out good with these pivot points, and we can. I'll pull up the some previous days. That way, you guys can just see the action on it here. When did you enter the trade? When it broke, or when it hit the top line in the bear flag? Simon, which one? The spy trade? Oh, okay. So, pretty much, let me see, because I had indicators up. I had also VWAP on. I starting to use VWAP too with this strategy. So it's more than just these pivot points, really. It's two more indicators on top of that. It's the VWAP, and when I use VWAP, I turn all this extra noise off. I go right here, calculate bands. I don't really care for the bands. All I care is about the middle line, the VWAP, the actual VWAP. So you can turn off upper band, lower band, bands fill. Just leave VWAP on. I like to change this to about like pinkish. So I do pink.
Have you tried adding the RSI to it as well?
I used to use RSI and MACD. I still haven't played with it with this strategy, but I don't want the extra noise, honestly.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's too much noise. Thing with that with volume is good. I normally do circles like that. That way I can tell this is my VWAP. It's different. And then I add my 9 EMA. So not right there. Moving average exponential. And I like to change that to white just so it can pop out on my thing.
I can't see the chart. You got to post it up.
Oh,
I
you
found it. Yeah.
You ever see it?
Yeah, I see it now.
All right, cool. So just to break this down, these two indicators, my white line is my 9 EMA, exponential moving average, and my pink dotted line is my VWAP. I make it a little thicker. Okay. So what I noticed here, pretty much on this bear flag, I noticed that we're pretty much bear flagging here on this level, on this pivot point during pre-market. And I just pretty much waited. I pretty much waited for price to break this 9 EMA and the VWAP to the downside as soon as market opened. So I think yeah, we went up like that, and then we came down with some good selling pressure. Let me see what the volume. Let me turn the volume on real quick. Do volume, and when it comes to the volume, I like to add the EMA as well. Not EMA. I like to add just a moving average. So on the volume, I turn on volume moving average, and I have it set to about 20. Right here, 20. And that pretty much just shows you when the volume is over average, above average. So right here, you can see that we just had a ton of selling pressure right here at the open. So it just confirmed that whole bearish move. It just looked really nice. I got in right at the break though. I got in at the break as it was breaking because I like just look at this big 3-minute candle. You see how fat that shit is? I got in as soon as it started picking his head down past this line, pretty much right there. It's risky because most people want to wait for it to actually close, but I mean, if you wait for it to close, you miss all this. You miss everything in here. So I like to get in as it's breaking. It's more risky. But if you get in, all right. So if you take this entry right here as it's breaking, your stop loss, it's about up here, right? So you enter here, you set your stop here because you're entering as it's breaking. So it hasn't closed yet, it's not confirmed, but let's say you were to enter like this. You actually wait for the close. You wait for it to close right here and then you enter. You can set your stop loss to here instead. So I think the stop loss is a little less, but you do miss out on all this move, all this premium pretty much from here. And if you catch it right before the break, you'll catch that premium spike. So I always like to get in on anticipation of the break. You know, some people like to wait for it to close. I like seeing the premiums spike up really fast. Like as soon as it's breaking, like if you get in here, it's breaking over here, they just start to move pretty slow. Like this is where you catch those big fat jumps. Like you'll catch those like they'll go from like 5% to like 20% real fast. Like it's crazy. But it all depends on your risk too, you know. Because even if you waited for the close, I mean, you wouldn't have missed too much. All right, so now we'll pull up this on the we'll pull up pivot points for the past few days and try to find setups just so you can see how they, you know, how I would play them, basically. So when it comes to these pivots too, I want to let you guys know that. All right, so you have this P that's in the middle. You have R1, R2, R3, then S1, S2, S3. When price is pretty much supposedly, when it's above this P, this a middle pivot point, price is in an uptrend, or I guess you only want to play calls or whatever. That's what you know, everybody was saying on YouTube when I was researching this. Same thing right here. When price is below the P pivot point, you're only looking for short positions. I look for both. I don't care. Just depending on the setup. Like right here, you can tell we're above, but you know we played puts here because we're on. You know we're breaking this level, and it gave us a bearish setup. Everything was bearish, so I don't think that's 100% true, but it probably would be safer to play that way. I just want to let you guys know that. And then same with VWAP. I don't know if you guys are familiar with VWAP. Usually when VWAP, when price is above this VWAP, you only want to play you know, long positions or calls or upside. And when price is below the VWAP, you only want to play short positions. So VWAP, I do like to use it like that. I like to use it as a trend indicator to let me know which side to play. If price is above this pink dotted line, calls are going to be more favorable. If it's below the pink dotted lines, then puts are going to be more favorable. So here we go. We're going to turn on the pivot points for the past few days. Right here, when it says number of pivots back, it's how many days back. Like you want to see all the pivots. They can get pretty cluttered. So normally I turn on 2. And if you guys are wondering how these pivot points are calculated, it pretty much just takes the low and high of the previous days and does some sort of like mathematical shit to where it just kind of predicts where the tomorrow's support and resistance levels are going to be. There's like a whole little equation to it, you know, if you guys are interested, you can Google it. So right there, we added 2, right? We added 2. I'm gonna do 30. We'll backtest 30 real fast. It'll be really quick. So you can see that we're still on the 3-minute chart. And we'll just try to find every time price has went to these levels and formed something. Okay, so we'll start with this day right here. Not really seeing anything set up. I think if you were to go on the smaller time frame, these are like some sort of patterns right here. But like I said, I'm trying to avoid trading off the 1 minute, so I'm only looking for higher time frame setups now. Right here, not seeing anything really. Pretty choppy. Pretty choppy here. This is next day, so every time you see the red, this is all 1 day. All right, so right here, this is a perfect day. So you see how we were given these levels right here when market opened here. So 4 a.m.'s here. When the red ends, it's 9:30 a.m. The bell rings. This is where we get to come in. So right here you can see that we ran up, right? I'm gonna use my use a different tool. All right, so you see we ran up right here, and then we started forming this like consolidation right here, in between these two levels, pretty much. So this is what I like to see. I like to see price do something near a level. Right here, we went up. I'm not getting in just because we're breaking levels. I want to see choppiness, you know, same criteria as my previous scalp video or scalp lesson I gave. And you're doing the same thing, except this is on a 3 minute time frame, so it's a little safer than the 1 minute. Less fake outs. So right here, I notice we're flagging. We make a flag. It's actually an ascending triangle if you want to be technical. So right here, you notice that, all right, price is forming this ascending triangle and is using this pivot point as the top or as the resistance of the ascending triangle. So when you see that set up, you're seeing that, okay, it's rejecting this level. We're forming something near this level. You know, I think if we push above it next, then we can hit the next level. And in this case, it did. So this will be entry right here. Let me make it bigger. That'll be your entry, and this will be pretty much your profit target, the next level. So if you see it, this is the middle point or whatever. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're above it or below it. I think that's not too true, because right here we opened up below it, but we're obviously making bullish moves. So I'll just use the levels, you know, accordingly to whatever's setting up on it. So in this case, we had a bullish ascending triangle set up. You take a position here, and you take profit here on the next line. So that was one good example on the pivot points. And let me see if there was anything else that set up on that same day off these pivots. So right here, not really seeing anything else that there was a double top. Okay, right here. It's like an ugly flag, but I guess you can still consider it a flag. It pretty much set up this flag right here on this pivot point. You could enter here, take profit here. And this is off the 3 minutes. So this is actually from 376 all the way up to about 377.38. So it's 376.26. So it's about $1, a little over $1. Which is pretty good, you know, because I normally scalping for about 20 cents, 30 cents. So if this trade is actually 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, about 15 minutes. This trade is a 15-minute hold. But straight green, you see, if you get in here right at the pivot break and you take profit at the next pivot point, you should be pretty solid. Same here, there was another setup. I'll go ahead and clear my drawings. There's another one here. Pretty much same thing. Ascending triangle. It's using these pivot points that, you know, we didn't even mark. We didn't have to look for them. It just gave it to us. You see, we have this ascending triangle. Right here, you can tell we rejected once in a day, so that level does seem important. Rejected here again. Now we're revisiting. Rejecting here, rejected here. And so you know when you break, it's going to break. So you enter here. When it actually does break, profit target would have been here, but it didn't make it. You know, this right here would have been enough to just go ahead and want to take profit anyways. So I'm still working a little more on this strategy as far as, you know, areas like that where it doesn't hit the pivots. Most of the times you can just look to your left and pull a level, but in this case, I'm not seeing anything here. Let me see. We'll try to look for a few more. And yeah, it's not much to it. It's just pretty much looking for setups, based like, you know, setting up on those levels. Right here. Okay, so SPY. This was yesterday, I believe. 2 days ago. I don't remember. Um, right here, you see how we were given this pivot point, you know, before market open. So we know that, okay, this level is important if SPY goes to it. And when SPY is just doing its thing right here, hasn't hit this pivot yet. It's just trading in between. You're just waiting for something to set up. Right here, you would notice that, you know, we set up this rising wedge on this pivot. So you know that if we reject this pivot point and then break downside on this rising wedge, you know, you could enter a short or puts right there. And then you can use this next level as your take profit, pretty much. And that's what it did. It went nicely. It rejected this pivot point and went perfectly to the next pivot point. And this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's about 45 minutes. This was about a 45-minute hold. So not my typical trade, you know me. I would have been out here for my little 20%. So you know, so really, I mean, I want to learn. I want to learn how to hold it here, all the way down here. I just, you know, I've been
When
scalping.
long
What's
that's
I
up?
look at the bigger time frame to hold for that long, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I still, you know, I need to figure out how to work these pivot points, or I guess hold longer. I don't know.
where
I
do you
guess.
think that
I
tomorrow?
look at the 1 hour and 4 hour time chart as well.
Oh
That's what helps me
yeah, I
hold
look
for
at
a long
those,
position.
yeah, to pretty much gauge my direction, my overall direction of the day. Um, I don't know how to show you on this because I have everything else on Thinkorswim, like everything I charted out. Um,
Wouldn't the way to like hold long is to like deload risk by like having multiple shares and then having like one runner going
yeah,
down?
multiple contracts, yeah, and I try to do that. I try to leave my runner like running because I go, you know, I'll buy a lot of contracts, trim every one but one. And then that one runner will make me so much more money than all the other ones I just trimmed. And then I just end up trimming it or taking it because I'm like, fuck, I don't want to give this shit back.
Yeah, green is green.
Yeah. So this is a good little thingy. I mean, pivot points are good levels to use. If you're having a hard time, you know, to find levels. In this case, you saw it work out pretty well. Take a break of that. So it's rejection of this pivot point and a break of this bearish pattern. Enter there, take profit there. And if you see the same thing set up, I mean, if you just keep watching these levels, you'll see how they play out right here. This was, I wouldn't say it's a bear flag, but we did break this level to the downside, and then we started, you know, trying to chop back above it, or I mean, pretty much trying to reclaim it. So right here, what I would have noticed on this, just by, you know, from experience, I would have noticed that we're double bottoming right here on SPY. Making a double bottom, there's some sort of support there. You know, we take a line, price is holding this. I mean, yeah, price is holding this 373.5 level. And so I would have known, you know, if we break back above this center pivot, that you know, I'm gonna start looking for maybe a long entry. So in this case, what you could have done here is you would have saw that price broke the center pivot, that purple line, form the bull flag on it. Say bull flag, one could say cup and handle. It's all the same stuff at the end of the day, in a way. So right here, you would have noticed that we have this bull flag setting up right on this pivot. So you could take the entry right here on this break of the flag, set your stop loss at the pivot or below, just slightly below it. Enter here, and look, take profit at the next point. But this was going to be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 25 times 3 is like 75-minute wait, whatever that is, like hour and 15 minutes, I think. So yeah, you see, this hold would have been crazy. I don't think I can hold that long, but using these pivots, I think I will probably be a little more comfortable holding, just knowing that all I got to do is enter here and set my stop here and just set it and forget it and just let it play out or something like that. But yeah, today was my first day playing with it, but I don't think I maximized my gains. I took profit a little too early. So we'll go ahead and watch another day. This was today, the bear flag one on there. And then right here on this day, you can see that yesterday there was nothing in these pivot points. There was really nothing you could have played. I mean, you could have played this bull flag here, this bull flag, or this bull flag. I think we did get a bull flag on the 1 minute on the pivot point yesterday. In a way, we did get a bull flag on that first pivot, the only pivot we hit yesterday. So right here, you could have entered right there on the break of the bull flag and on the break of that pivot. And you're not limited to just R3, by the way. So I'm sure there was targets and other levels. I just only have it to R3 because most of the time, from what I noticed, is R3 does not even get hit. So if we were to turn on right here, we can turn on S4 and R4, S5 and R5. I guess it goes all the way up to 5. So we'll turn it on. Trying to see why it's not showing up. Might not have it. Oh, I guess they don't have a Fibonacci. But they do have it for traditional, but I'm not gonna use the traditional. I was doing back testing on Fibonacci levels and I liked them a lot better. We'll just leave that off. Alright, so yesterday, yeah, I guess the only good trade that would have been on the pivots was this first pivot break, this bull flag break. And you know, that shit ran up crazy. So we'll pull up just maybe AMD real fast. We'll do the same thing just to show how these pivots are pretty nice. We'll go back a few days. And we'll pull up the 3 minute again. Because like I said, I'm gonna avoid using the 1 minute chart from now on. Too many fake outs. Okay, this was a pretty similar to the day. This wasn't today though. So if you notice SPY, remember when we were bear flagging right there in the morning? I think this is pretty close to a bear flag. It's kind of ugly. But it did the same thing. So pre-market, you know, you see this flag setting up or this channel. And then once we break this flag thing or channel and pivot point at the same time, then you could enter puts and you see this would have been your first target, second target, third target right there. But it only went to your first and second. I would have been all out on the first target. Another one would be right here. you would notice this rising wedge pattern or channel. It's a little choppy here, but once you actually got the break of that pivot point, you could have took profit on this next pivot point, and you see how it just bounced perfectly off it. That would have been your entry, take profit. This would have been like a, if you actually waited for this break, it would have been like a 6-minute trade. All right, so that's one on that day. Right, here's another good one. It's a little sloppy. I'm gonna say bear flag. I would have just noticed it as some sort of consolidation. So sometimes these bear flags and stuff ain't gonna be perfect. As long as you see in some sort of chop like that near level, your entry here would have been right here. Well, it could have been at the rejection of that of the pivot point or the actual break of this consolidation. Enter here, take profit there at the next pivot. See if there's any more. I think Tesla had a really good one. Tesla had a really good example. Here, this one is a little more complicated. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Fibonacci retracement tool. It's pretty much a good tool to find reversals. If you take the swing low here, connect to the swing high, you're able to find a bounce point. In this case, it was like the 0.5 level, which matched up perfectly with this pivot point level. So this is where you would have entered some calls. And let me see. I gotta change the colors. Get used to using TradingView. So you would have entered there pretty much, and your profit target, first profit target, would have been around here. And why I would have made that my profit target is because I would be pulling this last time I rejected right here. That would have been the first profit target, and then if you want to keep holding, you'd be trying to shoot for there. I think even here, this rejection would have made a nice profit target. Right here, same thing. AMD opened up. We opened up below this pivot point. We set up a bear flag. This one's kind of ugly. You see how we're under the 9 EMA. We're selling off as soon as we open. We pull up. We're just trading around this pivot point. When it breaks that pivot point and breaks that flag at the same time, you enter puts there. You take profit here. Pretty simple. And like I said, you want to wait for quality setups. You just don't want to take anything, or you just don't want to take them because they're breaking levels. Let's see if we can find just another one right here. This one's pretty ugly. There's like a mini bull flag here. So right here, we're running up. We're starting to try to trade above VWAP here. We're consolidating or flagging near this pivot point. You enter on the flag break, which is here, which is also breaking the pivot point, and you take profit at the next pivot point. Enter here, take profit up here. It was a choppy move, but it still made it. And then right here, I don't really see anything. It's just choppy. Here, there's a nice little bear flag. And it puts here if you would have thought it was gonna go all the way down here, but immediately got picked up there. Let me see if I can find one more. Right here, you see that we didn't even really break any pivot points. We just holding right in between these two. So it was a flat day. Even VWAP's flat. That's not the type of day you want to be trading. And then we'll do Tesla. We'll pull up Tesla real fast. Oh, that's a beautiful one actually. Hold on. So I think this one right here was more of a like a triangle pattern. Pretty much broke downside here. We broke the pivot point. Your target would have been around here. Enter there. Take profit here. Even if you wanted to get on the retest, if you would have took this bear flag for a retest, if you didn't want to enter here, you still could have entered on this rejection or this bear flag break down here and still profited by taking profit here. Same here, you have a mini bear flag. So you have a break of this level, of this pivot point, bear flagging right under it, holding it pretty well. You enter on this bear flag break right here. Shit. SPY. I have not. Well, no, I've been through SPY. But I'm really just showing this strategy on the using Fibonacci levels. For I guess day trading. So right here, you enter here. Same concept. I mean, same shit. I mean, enter here, take profit there. We'll pull up Tesla now. Tesla's gonna be the last one. Ah, damn it! I'm seeing all these beautiful ones on AMD. So these are the ideal trades that you want to see. Right here, just look at this beautiful fucking movement. AMD, we get this huge sell-off, right? We get this nice flag pull. Whenever we sell off nicely, you see either just nothing but green or nothing but red down. I call them flag pulls because they're getting ready to set up like a flag or some sort of, you know, some sort of pattern of that sort. So here we see this setup. I mean, this sell-off, this flag pull setup. Now we break straight through this level. You know, I'm not the type to just enter because a level breaks. I want to wait for a pullback or some sort of pattern to set up near it or at it. In this case, we broke under it. Cool. You know, whatever. We'll just wait for it to pull back up and retest it. So in this case, we did retest here. We tested this pivot point. So now you know that if it rejects this pivot point and breaks this bear flag down, you can enter. So right here, it did break the bear flag. You could have entered there, and you could have took profit here at the next blue line. And look at that huge dump. This was from like 106 all the way down to like 104.9, like 106.5 around there. It's about $1.50 move. It's pretty sweet. Then right here you can see that we choppy. We'll pull up Tesla like I said real fast. And then we'll probably just call it a night. But I'm gonna be using the. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's so late where you're at. That's why.
Yeah, it's almost 11.
Dude, it's like, wait, it's 8 here, so it's like super bright.
Oh man, damn. Must be
I
nice.
know.
All right, here's Tesla. At John, yeah, I do draw them like that sometimes. In a way, I think it's a little different, but yeah, I do draw all my support and resistance levels. I start from like the monthly, weekly, daily, you know, then go down to like the 4 hour, 1 hour, sometimes 30-minute, 15-minute. But I'm trying to not do it that way anymore. So I'm gonna start using these pivot points, just to find my levels to trade and just let things set up on them. So we'll pull up Tesla right here. We'll pull up today on Tesla. We'll see what kind of setups, you know, set up. right here on Tesla, you can see we had a symmetrical triangle set up. So right off the bat, there's nothing setting up, right? We get the sell-off here. There was a mini flag here, but not really visible on the 3-minute. It's just bouncing around here, kind of doing its thing. And then, this symmetrical triangle sets up near on top of this level, basically. So you would enter puts around here. You could, if you want to be dangerous, you could enter here on the break of the actual pattern, or you can wait for a level, the actual level. To be safer, you might want to wait for the level, but you'll enter here basically, and you take profit as this purple line, which in this case, it took a while to get there, but it never went back up to stop anybody out or to hit that level again. So this was a good entry. Could have took puts, take profit here on the purple line. And you see it went nicely and bounced off it. And these levels are here before, before the market opens. So all you have to do is just wait for them to set up. Here, the previous day, this is a beautiful, beautiful example. So you can see that Tesla, we ripped up, right? We're breaking levels. We broke this level, and we have what I call the flagpole, setting up the flagpole. When you see nothing but green or nothing but red, it's setting up a pole for something. So this one has all the criteria for a bullish trade. We're above the middle pivot, according to everybody on YouTube, in order to take calls and stuff, the price needs to be above the midpoint or the mid pivot. So we're above VWAP, my pink dots. So when I say we're above VWAP, we're in an uptrend. I want to trade upside. The calls are more favorable. And we're holding the 9 EMA right here. You can see we actually bounced off it. So this is a really solid setup right here. We're flagging. We're bouncing off the 9 EMA. We're above VWAP, and we just broke this pivot point. And now we're holding above this pivot point pretty much. So now, once you notice this flag, you want to enter calls here. You can set your stop either right under the flag. So that way, if it breaks back under and it's a fake out, you get stopped out, or you can set your stop right at that blue line at the pivot, or slightly under in case it just barely taps it and then bounces back up. But regardless, you're gonna enter here, and your take profit is gonna be this next pivot point, and you can see how it just went nicely. Enter here, held for about 6 minutes, and then you're there. See if there's anything else. Right here, there was a bear flag on Tesla. We'll start from the beginning of the day. Right here, we sold off. It didn't really give us any nice consolidation, so we didn't get the bear flag we wanted. On the 1 minute, I'm sure there was a bull flag here. There's some sort of bull flag right here on that pivot. I just don't want to pull up the 1 minute, but I'm sure we could have entered there and took profit at this purple line, which it got close here, dropped, but then it eventually did touch it here. So if you didn't take profit while you were up here, then you still had a chance. There's a bear flag here, setting up on the pivot. So you also notice we do have a bear flag here. And that's what I say. You're going to get less signals than doing it the scalp level way. With the scalp level way, you're going to have too many lines to focus on. You're going to just psych yourself out. And get faked out a lot. So here, you could end it here. But it's in the middle. It's between the pivot points. So it's like, all right, it's not near an important level. So I'm going to just let it be. I'm just going to go ahead and miss it because, I don't want it to, do some weird shit. So right here, this flag would have been more ideal. It's a little uglier, but you could have made it out to be a flag. Let me see. Kind of ugly. regardless, consolidation. I'm just more worried about just consolidation. You guys know what consolidation is, right? When it's just choppiness, when it's just like chopping. So like this right here. So when I say consolidating, you know, prices either going up, straight up. Consolidating is when it's just chopping sideways a little bit and then continues. Or in a downtrend, it's doing this, consolidating, just going up and down slightly, and then it just takes a sharp move. So this is what I'll call the consolidation, which is like this. You get a sharp move, you're chopping right here, consolidation, but bear flag. So right here you would enter on the break of the consolidation, which is also breaking this pivot point. Enter there, take profit at the next pivot point. Same thing. Right here you see we did get some consolidation on this pivot. It was a bull flag. We had this nice sharp move up, consolidated a little bit. You could have entered calls here. And, you know, hope that it would hit this before market close, but it didn't. So this was like 15, like 5, 4:30, 3:30, 30 minutes before market close. Let's see, we'll find one more. Right here, beautiful, perfect. Okay, right here, we're on the 3-minute still. This one you probably wouldn't have saw. This was a bull flag on the 1-minute chart. If you're on the 1-minute chart, you would have saw it. But since we're trying to use 3-minute and higher quality moves, I'm not gonna be worrying about what could be happening on the 1-minute. So in this case, we seen that we broke this pivot, the center pivot. As soon as we opened, right here we opened, we're above it. Right here, we try to break below it, and then this green candle immediately comes in right after and tries to like bounce, and which we did. We bounced. We hit this next pivot. So, you know, you're not just going to get in here because it's bouncing. There's really no clean setup that I'm seeing off the 3-minute. Right here, you see that we're rejecting. Right here, bounced off the 9. Came back up here. Now we're consolidating near this pivot point. So you see that we're doing this, just pretty much chopping, right? We're chopping through there. But if you were to take your drawing tool, I'll make them a little thicker. Okay, if you were to take your drawing tool, you'll see that we have an ascending triangle setting up on that pivot. And that's like my favorite thing is when patterns set up and uses these support and resistance levels as their tops or bottoms or whatever. So in this case, this pivot point used this, or this ascending triangle used the pivot point as the top. So pretty much this blue line matches up nicely with this ascending triangle's top. And so in this case, you would enter on the break of the ascending triangle and the pivot at the same time. Enter here, take profit at the next pivot point. You see how I just went perfectly to it and then just kind of rejected off it? That's why you just want to just take profit at the next level. And in this case, when you enter here, your stop loss would be if we break back under. Pretty much if we get hit with a red candle and it tries to pretty much close under this blue line, you just take your loss, you know, get out. So that was another good one off Tesla. See if we just find one more.
I need to learn how to get out.
You need to learn when to get out.
Oh, it's like I need to be like you, where like, you know what, I have a small profit, just leave. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait a little bit, then poof, done.
Yeah.
Dead.
You just gotta take it, yeah. Like one day you're just gonna be tired of that shit, just taking your
Yeah.
gains back. So you're just gonna be like, man, fuck it, I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I mean, you just having levels is definitely important. Having levels in place. So like in this case, you know, you pretty much just have to wait. So you enter here, take, you know, then you know where to take profit. You know where it could potentially hit. So it's like, okay, I have a pretty good idea. And then, you know, if it does start to dip down, then at least you're still up. Like even if it dipped down there and it came back down here, that's when you can be like, oh shit, let me just go ahead and sell. It's not looking too pretty now.
Yeah.
But right here, as long as it's still ripping up, shit, hold it to the next level. Once you start seeing these bigger red candles starting to pull down, that's when you can be like, all right, I'm getting out. Fuck that. I don't want to hold any longer. Um, that is that was a good
How do
one.
you feel about the market tomorrow? Are you bullish or bearish on the market tomorrow?
Let's see. Let's pull up SPY. You know, I haven't even looked at to see where we are. So we just filled the gap. It looks like we filled this gap. We still
Yeah.
have this gap to fill. I think one of the guys here had mentioned that there was a cup and handle setting up. I think it was Simon Metatree. I believe, yeah. So if you go down to like the 1 hour, we are rounding off at the bottom. Obviously, right? You can see that we have this huge round.
Yes.
And basically when we round off like that, we can see two things. We can either just see straight up, or we can see like a cup and handle. So in this case, it looks like a handle's forming right there.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much pre-market, well, we just got to see what it does. Right now, just based off this, it looks like we could be setting up for a move to the upside, a fat move to the upside. This is a 1 hour chart. This is a 4 hour here. We're still waiting on this handle to form. We need some more
Yes.
time. But if we could see maybe a little more chop tomorrow, and then maybe towards the end of the day pop, or we might just pop tomorrow if pre-market fills this handle in.
Yeah.
So that's something I want to see. I want to see something like this. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Boom, to the moon.
Mhm. Need
So
to make back
you said what?
and make back money I lost.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's all I see for tomorrow. As far as any good key support and resistance levels,
Yeah, but your AMD call was good. I made 58 from that.
oh nice, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, AMD, which was it? I think it was a put, right? It was an AMD put.
What did I do? Yes, it was a put. Yeah, it was a put.
See, it was right here. It was see, I
It was
scalped that one.
like the early morning, like right, like when the market
Yeah,
opened, kind of
it was
around
this right here. It was this bear flag.
like a
So,
tiny put.
bro, real tiny. Yeah, this is 3 minute chart. So it was literally we just played it from here. I took profit like here. So yeah, I scalped that one. I actually used the I think I used pivots on that one. So we turn on
Okay.
pivots. Beautiful, yep. So look. And then if you scale down to 1 minute. So that's when I was like, watch this, I think it was like 86 level or something. It was near it. But I was watching basically for, I seen this consolidation or this little bear flag setup. So I noticed that we sold off hard. We're trading under this VWAP, under these pink dots. So right off the bat, we're bearish. I waited for price to do something near this pivot point. So it came down, started chopping around, and I just waited for price to get near this white line and pretty much reject it. So once we rejected it with this red candle, I was like, fuck it, I'm in here. Yeah, I don't even remember where I took profit. I think somewhere around here. Once I started seeing it slow down, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Because look, you see that it didn't even go to the next level, so I don't know. I
Yeah.
have trust issues. That's what I scout. But then right here, this one would have been sick. Like if we would have took the calls here, so right here we
Mm-hmm.
did round off. We formed this, you know, basically handle, you can say,
Mm-hmm.
cup and handle, and we pretty much held above this line, pretty much the break line that we took. We took it as a break earlier, but now we're holding it nicely
Mm-hmm.
with this cup and handle pattern. You could have entered calls here and have a target at this blue line. That would have been a lot more fucking nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was expecting something like this with this, but then as I noticed that I think I was watching Spy at the time and Spy was bouncing, so I was like, fuck that. Let me
Spy's too crazy for me. I'm like, dude, this is so much money.
yeah, Spy is pretty crazy. It's actually a bad time right now. The contracts just got really expensive for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used to
Yeah,
be.
so I'm sticking with AMD and Apple for now, whatever else. Like, but
Yeah.
the,
Um. Let's see. Look at this one. All right. So this is AMD. Look at this beautiful setup. All right. So this one, you have multiple setups here. Right off the bat, you see that we rejected this pivot, but there's a channel here. Oh, this is a 1 minute chart. Maybe I should backtest with the 1 minute. Maybe. I'm starting to see these nice plays here. So right here, there was a, we broke the VWAP to the upside. It looks like we broke this channel to the upside here, breaking this pivot point. And if you would have entered there, price did hold up nicely. You could have had a target here. Or if you didn't want to play it for that channel, you could have played it for this bull flag break. You see that we broke this pivot point.
mm-hmm.
We set up a bull flag here.
Wow.
You could have entered here. Set your stop at the pivot point, the blue pivot point, pretty much. So if it broke downside, your stop loss is there, and then take profit here on the next blue line. Or even if you miss that one, so we'll just go ahead and draw it. Boom, boom, bull flag there. You would have saw that there was another one. There was like a bullpen in here.
Mm-hmm.
So, or you could say bull flag too. One could say bull flag. Bullpen. It doesn't really matter. They're both the same thing. So right here was nice too. This one's nice. All right. So I like this 9 EMA when price forms a flag and bounces off this 9 EMA. So in this case, we flagged and bounced off this white line.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, same thing. We flagged. We're holding this nice line, and just notice how we after we bounce, we pull far, right? The candlesticks pull far away from the white line. That's good. You want to see that. That means the trend is strong. So you want to enter when it's near the white line. Like here, right here, you see that we start chopping sideways and then we meet the white line again. This would be your entry. You'll enter here. You have the white line bounce, you have the bull flag break, and you have the level break at the same time. Enter calls there, take profit at the blue line. And as long as we're holding this white line, you can keep holding too. And you'll notice every time this 9 EMA is really good for rejections. Even without the pivot points, you can trade the 9 EMA if you want. But these pivot points give you actual levels to take profit and enter. So if you were to remove, let's say, pivot points, and we'll remove VWAP. Are you familiar with like moving averages?
No,
No? Okay.
it's okay.
So
That another day, if anything, I'm like, no worries.
yeah, so that's pretty cool. So these moving averages pretty much they also give you good entry points. So in this case, if you were just throwing a 9 EMA, this white line, you'll see every time price gets near the white line, it flags. So in this case, we flagged here. we're at, we're pulling away here, but right now we're consolidating. This will be your area to enter, that'd be the safest area to enter. Once you're actually like up here away from this white line, it's getting risky.
Okay.
So right here again, you see that we flagged again at the white line. I mean at that white moving average. We're back doing this sideways movement, and then we get these fat impulse moves to the upside, right?
Yeah.
So
Super chunky.
yeah, so every time it pulls back to these 90 MAs, you want to enter right there once it flags on it and breaks, and then you could also use this as a take profit. Like once it breaks back under the white line, that's when you can get out of a trade. I don't use it that way though. Here again, we pulled back to this white line. So right here is this nice green movement, but now we have this red green movement, this choppiness. As we're breaking upside on the flag and pulling away from the white line, should go up. Price should be going up. And then you have times like this where it just doesn't work at all, where it's just choppy. So right here, you can't really play it. You want to play it when price is either going, making these sharp moves up or down. So in this case, you can't really play here. But like right here, even downside, if you were to take pullbacks on the downside on this 90 MA, every time it does like a bear flag and rejects off that 90 MA and breaks a bear flag, just look at these moves it just throws down. Same here. Pulls back to this white line while making a bear flag. Good enter puts here. But yeah, that could definitely be for another day. I think just using these pivots right now would be just good. As far as even like if you're following along with me, because I'm gonna start using these more often, so that way you guys will like be able to see the levels that I'm watching, because it's pretty much the levels that the platform is setting up for me. It's not like anything I'm going out and finding myself. Let's see. I'm gonna remove VWAP here. Maybe just leave the 9 EMA. Give it a cleaner look. Gotta find one more setup. And I believe, I don't know if the person's still here. John. Is it you, John, that asked about the higher time frame, like the 15-minute? I don't remember. What was it, Zoom user? Someone asked about using it on the 15-minute. But yeah, it does work on a higher time frame. Let me see. I'm gonna just look it up on the look for some shit on the 5-minute right here. Right here, flagged nicely. Bear flag on the 5-minute. AMD. Pretty sure it went over that one. We'll look up. Give me a stock. What's her name? Lena? Is it Lena?
Oh, what's up?
Is that how you say your name, Lena?
Lena, yeah.
Lena, give me a random stock.
Apple.
Apple. All right. Let's see.
Because I'm still looking at Apple for like tomorrow. I'm wondering if like it'll
Okay.
pop off.
Apple tomorrow. Just looking at the higher time frame.
Where are we right now, Apple? Let me. I don't know where it closed off the market.
We are at one. It looks like 142.
142. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like on TradingView. I know it's a little different on Thinkorswim sometimes. But it looks like we have this this nice support. I mean resistance right here at about 143.30. So if we were to just take the hourly chart, you see that we had a nice rejection here today, pre-market and during the market hours. And if you were to take this, you'll see that it lines up with this little area.
Yes.
there's a nice resistance right there. I think if we push above that, we could go higher.
Mhm.
We also held it nicely here. So price rejected here, then we broke, then we started trading and holding right above that. Right here, we bounced. Actually rejected this level here. We actually bear flagged off it as well. So there's definitely sellers there. There's sellers there right here. We rejected as well. Let's see, where could we go tomorrow?
We didn't pass 145 today, huh?
No, we did not get above.
Didn't get above 144, 145, huh?
143.50, I think, is the highest we went today.
Okay.
We could see the same thing setting up. So like you see how let me see what ES is doing. I don't have alright, so ES, and if you compare it with Apple,
Mhm.
turn on Apple 1 hour. Feel up. Alright, so if you look at ES, it pretty much can tell you like the future. I don't know how familiar you are with futures. So ES is the futures of SPY, and whatever SPY is doing, you know, Apple, AMD, Microsoft, Amazon, all of those are pretty much doing the same thing. So if you look at Apple here, and then you look at Amazon, it's doing the same thing. If you look at MSFT, Microsoft, rounding off, doing the
Yeah.
same thing. Look at
Yeah.
Shop, maybe doing the same thing. So we're all doing the same thing here.
Okay.
It looks like futures right now are pretty much, so SPY closed like this.
Mhm.
I guess it looks just about similar to what futures is doing right now. Futures not really doing much, but it's looks like a cup and handle. We could be seeing could also
Little bit,
be a huge flag right here, pretty
mhm.
much.
A little bit up of an upside.
Oh, maybe a lot of it.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll just have to
But
see
just
where we are in the morning.
where the morning is, then we'll see what calls we could do.
Pretty much, yeah. So right here there is a nice support on ES if you just draw a line right here.
Someone asked, why do we have to look at futures, or why should we look at futures?
Why do we look at futures? So we look at futures because pretty much just to gauge where we're gonna be opening up at, like in the morning, or just never know. Maybe you might get some like crazy news after hours where you can't see it on SPY, you know. So SPY, it's not moving right now. As you can see, futures, we still have the timer going because futures is open about 25/6, I would say, or 24/6, something like 23/6. I don't know. It's open almost 24/7 hours a day. So futures is always running. It's just constantly running, constantly printing. And it's basically SPY. So ES futures is SPY. You do have NQ as well. NQ is the NASDAQ futures. So this predicts what the NASDAQ is going to do. But it's all the same shit. Like if you were to take the 5-minute on futures, let's say let me find 930. Right here. It said futures doesn't have pre-market and aftermarket. It's all just connected. So all this right here is pre-market. So let's say if you were watching SPY right here on the 5-minute as well. All this right here, if you look at the crosshair, this is SPY, and then this side is NQ. Let me trade it. Let me change it to ES. All right, so this is ES and this is SPY on this side. You can see that ES right here, bear flagged. at SPY was bear flagging as well. That was that same break, same everything. Except futures right here when it was breaking, futures was at 39.26, 3,926, while SPY was at 390. Basically all this right here where it's kind of spotty and choppy, you can get a better picture of it using futures. So I like to use futures just to see where we're at. Like if SPY, closed off pretty weird and it's like a half-ass pattern, normally pulling up futures, you're able to see it more complete because since they showed the data, I guess printing after hours, you're able to make some shit out you won't see on a regular SPY chart. If that makes any sense? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. All right. But yeah, so that's why we look at futures. So yeah, just based off futures here on the 1 hour, we are fucking cup and handling. I'm excited to see what we got tomorrow. I think we might see a nice run if we don't drop.
Yes.
So
Yes, I
right,
hope.
yeah, right here there's a really nice support right there at about 38.97 on futures, which is I think on on SPY. On SPY, it's about right here, about 387.9. 387.9. So I think as long as we keep holding this, so if you can see that these 1 hour candles were holding this level pretty nice right here, actually bull flagged and broke above it. If we bounce off this level, then yeah, we're gonna go up pretty much. We have to break this trend line on the hourly. Come down like the 15-minute. See it's rejecting it nicely here. But we could also do this. We could also see the descending triangle where we just freaking dump down,
So,
like, boom, take downside. So, or it could be this. It just could be so many things. We just have to see where we're at in the morning. I hate to predict,
oh,
what it is right now and just see, I'll just see what it
yeah.
is in the morning. See, connect the lines better. So like this one, you can also see it that way as a freaking symmetrical triangle just because it's holding nicely diagonally like that. But it also looks straight like that because I feel like we could get one more touch here. But we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
But just based off the round, I think we're bullish.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and then look at this right here too. I think, nah, that feels forced. I was gonna say, it looked like we had something going on. But yeah, so tomorrow, have you been using like Thinkorswim charts? Why do you look at very interesting? Yeah, no problem. Zoom user, are you in the server by any chance? The legacy trades. Oh yeah, I was gonna say. So what do you use for charting? Oh, cool. Hell yeah, that's the bet, bro. I know you are. You're using Thinkorswim for charting, Lena?
Oh, no, because I told you I don't have a laptop and then I don't have a mouse yet. I just have my iPad. So that's why I'm just trying to like figure out, just to kind of watch and just kind of like observe you before, just get like a better idea. It
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense when you, well, it
You
makes sense when you chart, when you draw your flags. I'm like, I do see it, you know?
Okay, cool. That's good. It's easy. It's like
Yeah, but you
I
go so fast. I have to like, if I get started, I'm like, fuck, man. Like my fingers don't go that fast.
look.
Like my brain doesn't.
So if you have an iPad,
Yeah, I have an
so
iPad.
TradingView is beautiful on the iPad.
Oh, okay. So I'll download TradingView.
Download TradingView. Yes, you're gonna love it. I'm kind of glad that I'm able to use this platform again. I wouldn't say get the paid version now unless you really want to, but you can play around with the free version, and I would just say just look up Apple pull up, maybe just Apple, maybe one Apple or SPY or whatever,
Mhm.
ticker you really like, and just play with it. Just
Focus on
keep,
that.
yeah, just look back at history. Don't even just look at what's happening tomorrow or today. Go back like, 10 days if you have to. And just keep looking, at random areas. So what I like to do is like this. If you're still looking at my screen, I'll show you what I like to do. So I'll pull up, let's say, the 5-minute chart or the 1-minute chart, 3-minute, any of these.
Mhm.
And what I do is I just go back in history and try to find shit. So like here, I just go in random places. I don't care if it's pre-market or after hours or whatever. I go out on random spot in the chart and I'm just like, shit, what can I try to find out of this? And I'll just be trying to make things out. So here I'm like, okay, I'm just connecting lines, taking these low points and pretty much taking these low candles right here, the lows of these candles, and connecting them. And I'm
Mhm.
just, even if you don't know what the name of the pattern is, just try to connect something. So even here, you know, you would say that this is a bull flag, and you don't have to get the levels right, but if you want to like train your mind on these patterns,
Yeah.
um, start drawing them out as as you see them, or whip out those charts and just be looking for them. That's it.
Mhm.
Just pretty much just start on a fresh day,
Mhm.
um, and just see
I
what
mean,
you can find.
yeah. It's like a game, pretty much. It's interesting when you actually do find a play. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Back in the day, I would look at these charts and I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck is this shit? I don't even know what it's doing." But then once I started seeing the patterns. Once I learned about patterns,
Mhm.
man, this shit got so easy. I was like, bro, this shit's
And,
like
and it starts
repetitive.
because your eyes kind of just see it already.
Yeah, yeah. So you really don't even need to add lines. Like, I do it just for presentation, but if I
Mhm.
wasn't trading with anybody, I wouldn't be drawing these lines out.
Yeah.
Um, and do keep in mind that they're not always going to be perfect. So in this one right here, you see that we did break out a little bit, but we fell back into it. But right here, we're holding right in between this little rectangle. Um, I think the 1 minute, you'll have a better chance finding patterns on 1 minute and 3-minute chart. Don't trade off them. Just look for patterns on them, or even if you want to on like the 15-minute. I guess any time frame, it doesn't matter. You'll see them.
Mhm.
Yeah. TradingView is a really, really good platform on the iPad. Any recommendations for learning patterns? Recommendations for learning patterns. So I would say pull up something like this. Um, Chart pattern. And this is what I did for a long time. And maybe drawing them out as well, like by hand. That helps. So I pretty much will pull up stuff like this. It doesn't matter if it's just Forex or crypto or whatever. Technical analysis are the same. All charting is almost all the same. Learn your different patterns, your reversal patterns, your continuation patterns, and your bilateral patterns, or you can say neutral patterns. They break either side. Continuations will rip one side, consolidate, and continue ripping in that same direction. So if you were to take let's see, like this flag pattern, for example. Flags are continuation patterns because they rip upside, they form that flagpole, they consolidate a little bit sideways, and then they continue up to the upside. Bear flags or rising wedges, they're continuations because they rip downside or in one direction and then consolidate and then continue ripping in that same direction. That's why it's called a continuation. Reversal is reverse. In this case, double bottom, it ripped to the downside, double bottomed right here, and then ripped to the back to the upside. So it reversed. Here on the inverse head and shoulder, same thing. Rip to the downside, triple bottomed or inverse head and shoulder, and reversed back to the upside. And then you have the ones that break either side. So these ascending triangles, descending triangles, symmetrical triangles can break upside or downside. So you just wait for a break. And these ascending and descending triangles, although they do break either way, you can still play them as continuation. So if you see one like this coming from the upside, well, ripping upside, ascending triangle, it's more than likely going to rip upside. Same with descending triangle. If it's coming from the downside, descending, it's more than likely going to break downside, at least from my experience. But
Who
technically,
knows?
yeah, technically, yeah, they could break either side.
Why-
But these, when they say continuation patterns, just trust these the way they are, and
Okay.
keep in mind falling wedges, rising wedges could be reversals as well. So if you see right here, rising wedge, falling wedge falls under both continuation patterns and reversals. But just you have to know, just pay attention to how they form. So rising wedges are always bearish. So when this wedge is rising, they always break downside. Even here on the reversal pattern, you see we had a nice sharp move up, but we're
Mhm.
wedging up. It still breaks downside. It's a reversal pattern when we're coming from when we're going up, chopping, and then it forms a rising wedge. In reverse, it breaks the downside. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So right here, yeah, we're coming from.
I just have to remember like where it starts or where is it coming from and then where
Yeah,
it ends.
yeah. So you'll just see like big green. Like here, you'll see fat green movement, and then once it's wedging
Yeah.
up, you just know that wedges break downside. So regardless whether it's coming from upside or whether it's coming from downside, these rising wedges, they're all gonna break in the same area. It's just gonna be
Okay.
considered a continuation if it's coming from downside, because since it breaks downside, this is the main move, and then you got the continuation where it breaks downside. Right here is a reversal because it's going up, and then it reverses right here and breaks downside. So rising wedges, falling
Okay.
wedges, do be
Yes.
careful on those, but regardless, they break the same way. Like these fallen wedges, fallen wedge here, these
Okay.
break upside,
I'm gonna
reverse.
screenshot.
Okay, here, let me clear it. There you go. So this is actually a good one. And then yeah, after that, you just start seeing them. You just have to pretty much practice drawing them out. Okay. So it basically breaks the opposite way it's coming from, or does that not happen all the time? It just depends. It really depends on the pattern. When it comes to a reversal pattern, rising wedges shoot up, rising wedge, and then break downside. And then when it's acting as a continuation, it's coming from the downside. I mean, it's coming downside, and then it continues. Regardless, these break the same. They break down, and falling wedges break upside. It's just depending on where it's coming from will make it a reversal or a continuation. And I think we'll see. No, there's really no good example that I'm looking at right now, and I don't want to take up too much time. um, but yeah, look, just go around and do this. 15-minute, right here is bear flag. Just draw them out. Why is this a bear flag or sideways channel? Look for this. This is really the key. It's finding areas like this. You see that all this red just forming a pole.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, this is your bear flag. You have this nice sharp pull, consolidation, continuation. That's why bear flags right
Yes.
here it's called a continuation because it goes down, chops sideways, and then continues down. So in this case, this is a good example of a bear flag. Goes down. And you want to look for these areas basically. So identify these big sharp movements, and then identify these sideways movements after the big sharp movement. And then once you identify the sideways movement, enter here to continue. Pretty much it's going to continue downside. If it doesn't break up here, then if it breaks down here, then you can enter, for some puts. Right here again, this is an upside example. You see how we have this nice sharp green move to the upside? And
Yes.
now we have this sideways movement right here. Basically, it's bull flagging. So if you were to move the thingies You have this nice green move to the upside, and you pretty much connect the tops there and connect these bottoms there. You have the same thing that I just showed right here, but the upside style, upside version. So right here, sharp move up, sideways consolidation, enter here for bull flag break. In this case, it was a bear flag break on this side.
Oh, okay. I see it.
Yeah,
That
you
makes-
see how it's just straight red, like no choppy?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that's a quick, easy way to identify bull flags and bear flags, or um pretty much ranges. And this is on a bigger scale. That's a 15-minute, and you could do this on a like a 3-minute chart. You go on a here. We'll do SPY. SPY's always flagging. So if you pull up like a 3-minute chart, you can even see them on these smaller time frames. So this is 3-minute chart. This is all in one day. Look at it. It's pretty much the same concept. You see how this red right here just falling?
Mhm.
But then you see how we kind of just sideways right there for a little bit.
Yes, and then goes
And
back down again.
Yep,
There.
and then it's sharp ass move down there.
Okay.
Same thing here. You see this sharp ass green?
Mhm.
So you see a nice green move, and now you see
Yeah.
like this sideways movement.
Yeah.
And in
Because it's
here,
going up,
yeah,
and then movement, and then up.
yeah. So pretty much, normally
Wherever
you see.
it goes up or if it goes down.
You said what?
So whenever if it goes down and then then it's gonna continue going down like that line. But if it goes upward, then it's gonna probably
Yeah,
have
exactly. So so this is what is considered a continuation pattern. That's why bull flag and bear flag fall under continuation, because you get the sharp move, consolidate or sideways movement, and then continuation. That's why it's called continuation.
yes.
Same with down, sharp move, taking a little breather, and then continues to the downside.
Okay. Hopefully we're green tomorrow.
No, yeah, hopefully. I would just say, try to spot out any of these bull flag, bear flag. You'll see them often. They pop up all day, every day, right here. And then the pivot points really, yeah. So if you do end up following me with any plays, I'm gonna have pivot points up. So let's see. Would that kind of be head and shoulders right there? Head and shoulders right where? My bad, bro. Around here. In a way, I feel like it is a head and shoulder. Yeah. So on a 5-minute time frame, it's an inverse head and shoulder. If that's the one you were talking about. Yeah, I would have been an inverse head and shoulder right there. But yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah, that's just yeah, that's one of the easiest ways I could try to explain on how to find like bull flags and bear flags. The other patterns would be a little more harder. You would have to probably like study them a lot more, but I think if you can just learn how to identify bull flags and bear flags to start, then just those patterns alone, are pretty damn profitable. You can see here, even on SPY on a different day, had this sharp move down, consolidated a little bit here. It's not the best consolidation, and you'll be able to figure out what's a high quality one. That's not that high quality, but right here, you'll see that sharp move down. But just look at this little area right there. That's the consolidation. bear flagged. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. I know 3-minute would look nicer, but once we broke that consolidation, look at that continuation on the downside. And then last one right here. It's not the best one. Have a nice sharp move down, consolidation, and then continuation. So you could enter there. So just try to identify these nice sell-offs or nice rip-ups here again. And you could just see how many times they set up in a day. Nice sharp move up, this consolidation, and just look at that break. Nice, beautiful break here. But combining that with the pivot points, it just makes it more high quality. Look at this one right here. My bad. Last one, fuck. I love doing this shit. Nice
Yeah,
sharp
it's
move down.
down and then consolidates a little bit, then dips again.
Yeah, it's all repetitive, same shit. And like I said, once you combine them with the pivot points, now once you see this and it's doing it on one of those pivot levels, let's say I don't know. Okay, so it was on the top head and shoulder. So if you were to take a pivot point here, let's see if there was a oh yeah, beautiful. Look at that. I didn't even have to pretend to draw a pivot point. So look at this right here. So this flag, when you connect it, add it with one of these levels, it just makes it even better. So right here, you'll have these levels already set in the day. You're not drawing them yourself. You're just waiting for this to set up, basically. Something like that. You'll wait for a sharp move down. Right here, you can see that price is consolidating right in between these two pivots.
Mm-hmm.
It did not break above this pivot. It rejected there. So you could end it here early or on the break of the actual pivot point, take profit on this purple one. So you see how this bear flag worked out beautiful with these pivot points. So this pattern combined with these levels, you should be pretty solid. You just gotta respect the stop loss. So in this case, if you would have entered here, your stop loss would have been about up here. But you see that once you entered, price never came back up to stop anyone out. But if it did, you respect it. That's it. You just tap out and be like, fuck it, I'm not gonna hold this shit.
Dude, you made me laugh last time. You were on the chat and then you're like, okay, I'm joining right now, and then something happens and you said retreat. I'm like,
Yeah.
and that made me laugh. I was like, fuck, retreat. So I had to go retreat also.
Bro,
But
yeah.
then
Oh
laugh.
man. No way.
No,
Were you in that one?
it was hilarious though, because it just seemed like, okay, it was good. And you're like, no, never mind, retreat. I'm like, ah, shit, okay.
Oh yeah, shit got real fast. Really fast.
Yeah, it turned sideways real quick. I was like, gosh, I'm like, we literally just got in.
That was so with scalping, that's the thing. When I'm scalping, those scalp levels, they're really tight to each other. So the next level literally can just be so close. They could just reject it right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's scarier. It's riskier. That's why I wanted to switch to something a little safer. That way, I can signal out safer plays to the group. And because scalping, like, yeah, I have to be on my shit like real fast, typing, screen sharing, doing all that shit, and
Because it happened in a split of a second, like half a second, some shit happens.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, as soon as I said enter calls, man, like 10 seconds later, fucking big red candle came out of nowhere.
No, sometimes I'm up, right? And then I'm planning to sell at 80. And then right after I sell, it's like at 65. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, scalping is that shit's tough.
Yep.
Yeah, so doing this new method it's gonna be nicer. So we're gonna be playing off the 3-minute, 5-minute. So like this bear flag itself, this is a 5-minute bear flag. So there's a lot of confirmation. It's just I don't know. Higher time frame moves are safer. So if you're getting a break on a 5-minute chart, it's safer than getting a break on a 1-minute chart.
Yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
So that's definitely why I wanted to move to
We'd
that.
rather play be safe but be steady because it's not like we're not trying to be greedy, like small wins accumulate over time or per day too. Small
Yeah,
wins.
yeah, per day, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm like, I'm
but
not greedy.
you said what?
I'm not greedy. It's like if I get $30, cool. Next one, 20, cool, but it's like
Oh no,
something.
same, yeah, same. I just take it, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
I
so
used to and wait and then die.
oh
So
man.
yeah, I learned my lesson. I've like remember my QQQ?
Yo, yeah.
Yes. After that,
Yeah,
I'm like,
you haven't even seen the worst of it. I hope that's like the worst of it for you.
no, I don't know. But I tell myself to stop, but sometimes I get so caught up,
Yeah.
and that's with a lot of us. We get caught up.
Oh yeah. No, I've had my fair share of fucking fat losses for no reason. Just because I don't know, I wanted to hold and I was hoping that it would reverse.
Yes, hold on for dear life, but then I'm like, fuck, I'm sinking,
Yeah,
sinking.
but then I can't like when I'm in profits, I can't hold on sometimes for dear life. Like like I do my losses. I mean, that was one of my biggest problems too, is I would take my profit too early, but I would hold
That's
on
me.
to my losses way longer. Like I would be holding through these -70, -80%
I'm
losses.
the same as you, because it's so hard to win. It's like when you lose, you freaking hella lose. But when you win, it's like so small. It's like so slow. It's so slow. But when
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it's
God, that shit's the worst. It's like why, man?
like that one day. Let's see. I pulled out of Amazon pretty early, and then it went up like $5 more. I'm like, what the fuck?
Bro, that's me as fuck. Like I would literally sell, like I'll see it struggling to push a certain level, but as soon as I sell my position, fucking just rips.
Yep, me too. Like one of my girlfriends, she held on, and I'm like, fuck.
Damn.
I
That shit
know.
that should be making me mad.
But
But
sometimes
that
I hold back down. So I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I learned the scalping thing. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna be quick. But then with scalping, I don't know if you noticed, it was Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday that day. Yeah, with the retreat thing.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of I think I got faked out twice that day. Yeah, I ended up taking an L that day.
hmm
Got faked out twice or three times. I don't know. It was pretty bad. And so I was like, you know what? I gotta change this up. I need to figure out something simpler. It's gonna be less. Most of like I used to want to just find a trade fast. So that's why when you scalp, you can find thousands of setups just setting up minute by minute, but a bunch of those setups could be fake outs, or they can change to new patterns easily. So I used to
Yeah.
just be impatient, want to just take a quick trade, but now I think I'm just gonna focus on these 5 minute plays, 3 minute plays, and even if I have to wait all day. So like, if, for example, this SPY trade right here that we're looking at on my screen, um, right here, this trade did not happen until about 11:55 or 3 hours after market opens, basically. So until then, there was nothing. Maybe here, there was some consolidation right here on this. Um, that's one trade. It was a sideways. I mean, it should have broke up, but it broke downside on this level. That was one trade, but that trade did not happen until 11, so about almost 2 hours after market opens. Most of the time, I'm done by the first 10 minutes scalping. I'm usually done. But it's right now with the market being choppy, this is hard to find good setups like that. And I noticed that we're setting up more now towards the middle of the day.
hmm
Um,
But they start right when market opens and they end like 30 minutes after, like, okay, you're done for the day.
yeah. Um, but yeah. So even though, yeah, we may have to wait longer on these trades, they will pay out more. So like I
Yeah.
said, this one did not happen until 11:55, but if you took it from here to here,
hmm
that's a big move. That's not the type of move I'm taking on a scalp. On a scalp, I'll probably be in here and I'm out like right here.
hmm
But just using these higher time frame moves, you can I guess you can hold longer because the pattern's bigger. Versus, you know, if I'm taking like a bear flag on the 1 minute, it's probably like gonna be right here, just like literally, like on the 1 minute. I mean, you can't see it now, but on the 1 minute, the bear flag would probably be like right there, and I'll probably just scalp it to about here. So I don't know, maybe like tiny little bear flag. I don't know if that makes sense. Maybe like just that, just a tiny little flag, versus this bigger flag that's setting up here. So these are gonna pay out more. I feel like they're gonna pay out more than the scalps.
Mm-hmm.
This is my first day using the new strategy, but as you can see that it sets up using just these bear flag, bull flag patterns, it'll be perfect to start. And just use them with these pivot points. This was 1 day on SPY, and then look right here on the day before. We had another good move. Not right here. This is what you're looking for. Like I was saying, the sharp move up. You see this fat green move up?
Yeah.
We do the same thing. We have that nice sharp move. We're breaking this pivot point, and we set up a bull flag on the pivot point.
Mm-hmm.
So we're bouncing off this pivot point. You enter here on this bull flag breakout, and you take profit here. And this is a 5-minute chart, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 5. This is an hour. This is where you know this
Wow.
trade is holding for a whole hour. It's not my typical trade, but you see that they're higher quality, as in you take this breakout, you don't get really faked out. You could just set your stop here, enter here, set stop there, and profit target at this next line.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have another one set up here. So even if you miss this bull flag, go here, wait for it to reach the next level. You got another bull flag literally setting up right at that level. So
Yeah.
in this case, you could enter calls as it's breaking here, the bull flag and the level, that take profit at the next blue line. And then right here, you see that it never really stopped you out. Your stop loss would have been right under the blue. Or it would have been under here, depending on your risk tolerance. Mine would have been probably right at the blue. Did touch it, but it never broke below it, and it did end up reaching the next level. And this was a more like a 1, 2, 3, 4. This was a lot. You know, this was probably more than an hour. This was more than this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just see that these pivot points are nice. Even pre-market, like you could notice that pre-market held this level nicely. This purple line. You wouldn't be able to get in though. Pre-market it broke, but you can see that this pivot point was nice. It just held nicely pre-market, and it had a nice break. And then once we came back up after market open to reclaim it, we formed a bull flag on it. And really, all you gotta watch out for is this. You wait for a flag, set up on the pivot point, and that's it. Just take the break of the flag and use this pivot point pretty much as your stop loss.
Okay.
And same thing here on the downside. You'll play based off these levels. You'll see that we set up a bull flag there. You're gonna use the break of the pattern and the flag around this area to get inputs. You'll set your stop loss up here above this blue line, and then you'll take profit at the next pivot point. So here's the bull flag right here from one pivot to the next. Here's the bear flag from one pivot to the next. Yeah, just these two patterns alone with the pivot points would be a good place to start if you want to start finding some setups. And I think that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. Here's one last example. We have a little bull flag here. It's kind of ugly, but we're holding this pivot point. We bounced off it. We're breaking the flag here. We're breaking this pivot point. You could enter pretty much on the flag break or on the actual pivot point break, depending on your style. And you see, you can just write it up to the next pivot point, which was this purple line. Nice rep. Here we got the flag. Enter here. Take profit at the blue line. But yeah, I know this shit's all repetitive, but are you scalping? Yeah, I'm using 1 minute when I'm scalping, but I don't think I'm gonna be scalping much anymore. Maybe if I'm holding a couple contracts, I'll be scalping most of them and trimming, and then maybe holding the runner just to see what if it goes to the next profit target. Like I said, day trading is not my thing. Today was my first time attempting it, but I don't think I really did it as good as I could have. But I'll be using the 3 minute and the 5 minute more often now. That way we get less fake outs. We get more high quality plays. We'll be able to hold them longer too. So yeah, I guess this is probably gonna be the ending to this video. Thanks for sticking through all the way, Zoom user, or what was your name, bro? I know you as Tint, or oh, Tint, is Tint your name? And Lena, appreciate you sticking through this the whole time. I probably bored
You
you.
much for putting in so much time to teach us. Thank you. You're
Yeah,
appreciated.
yeah, no problem. I
And
hope you
girl,
learned
when I go
something.
to Atlanta, I'm gonna buy you a drink. So we're gonna turn up when I go to Atlanta.
Oh, you're gonna buy me a few drinks.
Hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay, let's look for a good trading day tomorrow then.
Yeah, we'll find something. So normally what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna be watching a lot of shit at once. So this is literally what my chart's pretty much gonna be looking like, since I don't really have to mark levels anymore. Using this new strategy, I can look at about 8 different tickers right here, just pretty much waiting for them to set something up. So that's what I did today. I had AMD, SPY, Apple, and Amazon all like this. So now that I'm gonna have Apple, AMD,
Yes.
Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon, Shopify, SPY, and QQQ all at the same time. And what I'm pretty much just waiting for is I'm gonna be watching all of them to set something up near one of these levels. And like Tesla right here, you see that if I was watching all these at the same time, I would have noticed, okay, Tesla's bull flagging right here on this pivot point, pretty much like so. Then that's when I'll be like, okay, this is a good trade opportunity, because the other way I used to do it when I was drawing too many levels, I would only really focus on one ticker because I'm literally looking at a shitload of levels at once. But in this case, the levels are already marked for me. I just have to wait for patterns to set up near them and just play them accordingly.
Okay.
So it'll be easier to find plays. I can watch more than just one ticker all day. That way if one fucks us up, then we'll still have a bunch of other tickers to.
To bounce back on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Um,
retreating.
yeah, one is not enough, bro. Yeah, bro, hit me up for a one-on-one. I do the private mentoring if you're ever down. If these little classes not enough, I can go more in depth for beginners. But yeah, I guess I'll catch you in the morning. I'll skim through pre-market and see what looks pretty solid.
Okay, sounds good. See you guys tomorrow.
See ya. Good night.
Bye.
See you, bro. See you, Martin. See ya. Yeah, let's go. Got ATL. All right. See ya.